next one. So you can see it's not much different. We're just going to have one more row than we did yesterday. All right, so let's look at the next problem. Again, you want to identify your divisor. Ask yourself, what am I dividing by? M minus 8. So this is my divisor. And this is going to tell me the number of rows. And I need 2 rows. I need a row for my m, and I need a row for my negative 8. And I'm going to identify my lead term of my dividend. So I'll write that on here for you, dividend. It would be the answer to our multiplication of our rows and columns after we fill in our boxes and combine like terms. So m squared is going to go in the top left box. So I'm going to just shade this in. M squared. And now I have to think, what times m is going to make the box be completed with m squared inside? M. M times m is going to make m squared. Now that I have my row and my column, now I can multiply to complete the row. So m times negative 8 is going to be negative 8m. And now I know that my diagonal boxes are going to be like terms. So now I need to see what they need to combine to, and I need to get to a negative 7. And at negative 8, m plus what is going to equal negative 7m? And that would be a positive 1. And again, I can check my math if I'm not certain. Negative 8 plus 1, and I should get a negative 7 in the calculator. And these have to be like terms, so I have to make this an m term. And now I can complete my column. So what times m is going to make 1m? Well, that would just be 1. And since I know my column and row, I can multiply to fill in and complete the second column. Again, these should match the last term, but if you notice they do not match, that is going to tell you you need to continue on to the next column, and that is going to be a remainder. We have some extra left over. So these have to, diagonal boxes must be like terms. So now I have to think, negative 8 plus what is going to get me to negative 11? And that would be a negative 3. Now again, I'm going to check my math in my calculator to make sure I'm having the right numbers in my boxes. So negative 8 plus negative 3, and that should get me to negative 11, which it does, so I know that my remainder is correct. So if my quotient is m plus 1, since my remainder is negative, it's going to be minus my remainder divided by my divisor, because that is what we are dividing by. So when I write my multiplication problem, it's going to be my rows, m minus 8, times my columns, m plus 1, minus 3 for my remainder has to equal m squared minus 7m minus 11. Now you can complete the second side of your dividing polynomials homework. Remember, the front side has 0 remainders, and the back side, I put a reminder, these problems will have remainders. One note on this homework problem, you need to make sure that when we write our answers, remember I told you you need to start with the highest exponent and work your way down. So x to the third, then would come our x to the power of 2, or our x squared term. Then next would be our x term, and then our constant, or the term without the variable. Well, if you look inside the parentheses, you're missing your x term. So let's think, if it's not in the final answer, how many x terms do I really have? And hopefully you're saying there are 0 of them. That's why you're not seeing them. So when you get ready to draw your box, and remember, it would look like this, x, negative 1, we would put in our lead term, and then we would start filling in, and these have to match, and then we'd fill in, and we'd fill in, and then these have to match. So if you get to this last box and you realize it doesn't match what I need for my 0x's, then you've got to realize that these have to combine to make 0x. So you're just going to be adding an extra column to your problem that you didn't have in the other problems. And hopefully that will help. Some of you have already figured that out. And if you're still not sure what to do, ask up here, or you can wait and you can ask me on Tuesday. All right, guys, this ends the lesson for today. work on your homework, and then you need to grab the next anchor chart and watch the next set of videos. See you Tuesday.